Hey everybody, Bruce II here. You know, every 50 episodes we like to celebrate hitting a milestone by reviewing a game with sharks in them, because sharks are jawsome. So today we're going to look at an arcade game in Sly Spy, which is part of Data East Arcade 1 for the Evercade. So let's take the cartridge, pop it in our VS, and see how Sly Spy holds up today. Let's go to the game.
Sly Spy.
Sly Spy was published by Data East, and according to MobyGames.com, it was released in the arcades in 1989. It is also known as Secret Agent in other parts of the globe. It was designed by Makoto Kikuchi, who previously designed the arcade hit Bad Dudes, and would follow up Sly Spy with Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja, also for the arcade. Sly Spy is an action platformer for 1 or 2 players alternating. Although it isn't officially a James Bond game, it is heavily influenced by the movie series, to the point where I'm surprised they weren't sued. 2 of the bosses are clearly based on Jaws and Oddjob, as are some of the scenarios and graphics. You can even get a golden gun and input a 3-number agent code at the start of the game, with 007 not only being allowed, but also serving as the default top scorer. There isn't much of a story presented. The attract mode sees the president being attacked, and at the beginning of the game it says the following: Council for World Domination terrorists have infiltrated the city. Get them before they kill innocent people. For the controls, you move with the joystick, use one button to jump and the other to fire your weapon, although you need to repeatedly press fire for multiple shots for your standard gun. If you run out of ammo, which didn't really happen to me, or if the Jaws boss knocks the gun out of your hand, which did happen to me, your fire button will turn into a kick button with the ability to do a jump kick. Your kicks are actually pretty powerful, especially against the tiger bosses. You can pick up a jetpack that allows you to fly, and a sea scooter in underwater levels from some enemies. In addition, you can also pick up extra ammo, Coke cans for health, similar to Bad Dudes, a clock for extra time, and a temporary use machine gun. You can also pick up pieces of the golden gun. Assemble it, and you will have extra firepower for a limited amount of time, but you lose it immediately if you die. You only get a single life, and once your life bar is drained, you go to a continue screen with a nuclear missile threatened to be launched if you do not continue. No pressure. Continues pick up right where you left off. The game is separated into 9 sections. The first section has you falling in the air, attacking bad guys as you descend before activating your parachute. Once landed, you fight in front of the Lincoln Memorial. In the third section, you are on a motorcycle. You only have limited movement on the first quarter of the screen, but you could duck projectiles and angle your motorcycle up 45 degrees to hit flying enemies. At the end of this level, you face enemies leaning out of a car window. The fourth section takes place at a harbor. You will face the Jaws ripoff boss at the end of this stage. Then you go all Thunderball in the next section, going underwater, shooting a harpoon gun at man and sharks, including a boss shark. The sixth section takes place in a warehouse with several tigers waiting for you at the end. Next, you enter a cavern, making your way down to an underground fortress and facing the Oddjob-style hat-throwing boss. The 8th section returns underwater, facing a Deep Star 6 dude at the very end. And the 9th and final section has you approaching a launch area. This includes a boss rush, followed by blowing away a force field to finish the final wimpy boss. Once you beat the game, you will be told by the president that you saved the world but missed a few things and to try again. You may think that if you play the game and find certain objects, you will get a better ending, but this is not the case. So either this was put in there to get you to play more, getting more quarters, or the things you missed may be in reference to the girls that surround you at the end. No matter the reason, once the ending is over, you put your initials in and that's it. Shortly after it hit the arcade, ports of the game would find their way to several home computer platforms like the Amiga, C64, and Atari ST, but the game was not ported to a home console at the time, which is a shame since it seems like it would have fit nicely into the Sega Genesis library. In 2010, the game was included in the Data East Arcade Classics compilation for the Wii. In 2018, It was brought to the Switch as part of the Johnny Turbo's Arcade series, but it appears that entire series of games were removed sometimes in late 2023. In 2019, it appeared on the AntStream arcade streaming service and is still on it as of this recording. In 2021, it appeared in the AtGames Legends products that featured arcade games. And in 2022, it was included in the Data East Arcade 1 cartridge for the Evercade. Graphically speaking, I find this to be a decent looking arcade title from the late 80s with some personal highlights including the Lincoln Memorial, the city in the background of the motorcycle stage, and some of the best looking sharks to ever appear in a video game. The sound and music is solid, although nothing really sticks out as super memorable to me. Family friendly wise, the game received an E10 and up rating for fantasy violence and mild blood when it was re-released on the Switch, and does feature violence against several animals like dogs, tigers, and sharks for those sensitive to that sort of thing in a video game. So what do I think of Sly Spy? As a James Bond fan and a fan of arcade games from this era, I really enjoyed it. It looks and sounds nice, it definitely scratches that James Bond itch, and it controls fine. It's also not too challenging, taking me about 10 credits to finish, and can be completed in about 15 to 20 minutes. I also like how the levels mix things up. My only negatives are that 2 players have to take turns, some of the bosses are laughably easy, and while it is a solid game, I would say it's a little short from being a top tier title. But I still had fun with it and would easily recommend it to fans of James Bond style games. Usually I rank the game against other games I previously reviewed, but since this is my first arcade title review, that will have to wait until I review another arcade game. Sly Spy, aka Secret Agent, won't set the world on fire, but is recommended to gamers who are James Bond fans. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoy videos such as this one and you want to support my work, please click like and subscribe, drop a comment below, and for mega supporters, either become a channel member or sign up at patreon.com/NoSwearGamer. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to see you next time in the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care, and thank you for helping me reach 800 episodes.
No!